It's actually not too cold out, which is nice. Um, Lighter session today. So a lot of these in the shed tend to be, but the goal today was originally going to be just full snatches off the blocks, or I guess catching in full depth. But I took a detour from that, and I wanted to do blocks still, but to do power. So it's going to be lighter, 70 kilos in the snatch, so really light for triples, and then 90 kilos. Originally, it was going to be cleans and jerks separate, but I'm just going to do them together, or at least overhead press or something with them. But I'm going to get this bar pushed up and the blocks rolled over since they're basically already there. This is from the other day from doing pulls, or like a week ago, I think. I haven't been out in the shed for a little bit since this session. But thankfully the blocks are basically set up. I just have to tip them back over and hopefully not hit the plate. Pinch my fingers. Nice thing with doing powers on a day like this is I can just kind of start training. I don't really need to stress about warming up too much. So be slinging weights here in a second. Let's get my shoes on. I will be using straps for everything as well, which will help expedite the session. Obviously for snatches from the blocks, it's kind of a mandatory thing for the most part. But for cleans, it's not as mandatory. But I'm going to be strapping up either way. Might throw some knee wraps on if I feel a little extra achy. I don't really feel too bad today. I actually had a ton of steps at school today. Usually I get about between 9 and 10,000, which is, a good amount. But I was like at 12,500 today. And like when I get home, I don't continue to wear the watch because I don't necessarily care how many steps I get in a day. I have it at school just for music, starting and stopping that. It also helps with seeing messages a little faster than just my phone. What's up? So I get my tap shoes on. But block power snatches above the knee was something when I did the weightlifting AI it loved to give me. So it must be an exercise that's at least logical for me to do. It's a very easy movement. No, I don't box. I've never done any combat sport. No wrestling or MMA or boxing or anything. Not really, never been a fan of any of that stuff. Just normal sports. I do be American. The flag wasn't obvious enough, but today is the 3rd. I'm just gonna start snatching and see how it feels. I haven't warmed up. Put the shoes on, put the blocks on, and that's been it. Accent, what state? You might be able to figure it out based on my hat. That's a good hint. The 2 of the 3 colleges up there will give you a nice hint as well. But I don't know what accent wrestling is, if one were to say that unironically. But yeah, we're going to start at 40 here. That's just to hold the shingles on the roof. So because this is a shed, if you look like in your attic, you might see nails like that. I don't know if it's true of every roof, but it's because there's shingles on the top, butt through. But yeah, they're all over the place. Maybe they're not supposed to be like that. I didn't build the shed, so I don't know. Can't reach them though. So I haven't really warmed up at all. or see if anything hurts. Bar's just a little cold, but it's not too cold today in here. Definitely got to do more sets there before I move up. Feels like I haven't warmed up. Alright, we'll throw the knee wraps on too. Give myself no excuses. How did I shout out your friend? You're gonna have to try honestly harder than that too. I work with children, and hey, Krabby. But pretty honestly, a pretty weak effort there, John. Pretty weak. Kind of feeling like I'll just do overhead press instead of jerks today, since I did so many yesterday. Block power snatch. Really, goal this session is to try to move fast and to get ready. I don't know, Joseph. I don't know. I don't know what Ohio is known for. Soybeans, astronauts, and presidents. Almost tripped. A lot better. Maybe let's jump right to 70. Throw on the yellow. Buckeyes? Oh yeah, that's true. It's not really that cold, Joseph. Could have came on the one day where it was 13 degrees out here and I was doing block snatches. That day, I was really fighting the cold. I'm from Poland? What gave it away? The native English accent, the American memorabilia, the American colleges, the American football hat. Yep, I'm actually Polish. You guys caught me. I thought nobody would ever know. It's the flag of Poland. Yeah, I don't think you're from Poland. If you think that's the flag of it. All right, so where do you? At least we'll see how 70 feels. You know, originally I put 5 sets of 3, but a lot of this first week is somewhat calibration. I'm certainly not going to go up above this, but we'll see how if a triple is there or double or even just one. But 70 should feel pretty easy, even though I'm uncaffeinated for this session. I shouldn't need caffeine to power snatch 70 off blocks. So I can't get my strap on. There we go. Felt manageable. This strap is being obnoxious. We go to my alternative ones. Probably need some chalk too. But it's felt good enough. Really just trying to be aggressive. Punching out the bar above my head and also going underneath. It's kind of a weird thing to ask, but you know, I guess if you're trying to get a reaction out of people, that's stuff you would say. You have to work harder though. You have to work harder. It's not really a good effort, frankly. It's kind of like a lower IQ type thing. Yeah, the child's drawing, yeah. That's where I keep all my political stuff with all the students and my niece's drawings. Now the chat's weird. Right. Get some chalk and do 70 again. Not too bad. But yeah, I do have. Most of them are student drawings, and then some of them are from my niece. She put some drawings, or gave me some drawings to put up as well. So yeah, I guess there is a rainbow there. Kids draw rainbows usually. Well, it looks like someone got held for review. They flew too close to the sun. Kind of have a weird obsession with Poland, but that's says more about you, I suppose. Kind of a weird country to be fixated on. It's not really that important of a country. Could tell you the last thing I've heard of any news related to Poland. I do think it's landlocked, so I don't think they have many boats. Still moving and grooving. So, it's like I'm pretty sure Poland is landlocked. I don't think there's asbestos in those because that's just normal installation. I guess with the foam stuff I put up, but it's not really moving around. You gotta just say normal stuff. Like, I don't even know if you're trying to make a joke or what. You just sound weird. this, like, if you're trying to make a joke, it's not landing anywhere. It's just, I don't even know. Like, it's so out there that I don't even know if you're actually joking. You might just be that stupid. Alright, so fourth triple. Still trying to be aggressive with how I place my feet. Not necessarily trying to make them loud and make them land loud, but just trying to make them land intentionally, as well as being aggressive in the overhead position. So try to move fast and be aggressive. good. So that's probably my best set. It's hard to really see from this angle, but try not to spread my feet out too wide to do like Iranian style powers. And try to keep my feet in more of a normal catch position. And that's what I'm confused with, Michael, is like I get trolling, I get goofy comments, but I don't understand. Like I don't follow what he's doing, and it's not. It's just bizarre. But it's only 70 kilos, so it's not anything too heavy today. But um, that was a 4 triple, so we're gonna do one more, and then keep it there at 70. And honestly, I might just stay at 70 and just do presses. It might just be that kind of day. So I put 90 for doubles and for jerks, but I might just do everything at 70. It might just be better. Press a little bit lighter. We'll see. But last triple here. Good. It's like the perfect weight for a day like this. It's just heavy enough where I have to try, but not so heavy to where if I mess something up, I wouldn't be able to save it or anything. But all this felt really good. So block power. So OHP will start at 70. So where's the overhead press? Yeah, I mean, I think he definitely is, or he's just like, he might just not be that intelligent. I think it's just kind of, could be both, but yeah. Everything on the camera is reversed because it is the front facing camera. So I guess it looks like, I don't know. This is my left hand, so the far side is the left, but I guess it does reverse the flag and stuff too, but not really too much of a concern. But we're gonna do, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe 1+1, maybe we'll do 2 cleans. We'll see how the first one feels, mostly mobility wise. I don't know why you're saying your name is so Zig when your username is a completely different thing. Appreciate it though. I think we'll do 2+2. 2 clean, 2 power clean, 2 overhead press, and do that 5 times. Do it with straps to stretch out the front rack a little bit. that good, but it is what it is. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's you can. I always get a generic person like this Gary person who is like says something like you need like I you could do more, I could do more like I don't know what you're trying to prove with a statement like that. Like, sure, there's lots of people that could probably press 70 kilos for more than two reps. It's not that much weight. Like, congrats, you're like 70 kilos is not, not a lot of weight. Oh, especially for a power clean and overhead press. Yeah, I mean, like, that's generally what it is, but then all people come back like, I'm just trying to motivate you. Like, I'm not getting motivated by some Nimrod. Oh, darn got it, I'll show him. I'll prove them all wrong. Gary with two R's said I can't do this for more than five. I'll show him right here. And he'll eat his words. I'll do it for six. Then the anonymous Gary on the internet that can't spell Gary correctly will be wrong, and I will be right. Because that's why I lift weights. For Garys with two R's. We're going to catch the first one for a few seconds, though. Stretch out the front rack a little bit more. First one, I got a little lazy on the first rep. More better. Better. I know Gary won't be happy. Yep. Yet you felt the need to comment. You felt the need to click view this live stream so you could leave a comment. Because when you're just strolling through your feed, you can't just leave a comment unless you choose to click a button that puts you into the live stream to allow you to comment. So I do enjoy that. Yeah, it is quite funny. I just wouldn't even just randomly came on my feed. What a what a great sentence that was, Gary, with two R's. That is that is a fantastic set of words you just put together. Oh, I hope he's not in America. We don't need any more Garys. Need to deport all the Garys. Get him out. Get him out. uh, I do like how Echo's just here, just talking to himself at this point, saying random stuff still. I actually live in a wormhole, so time has no meaning. I live about 2 miles from a black hole, so my understanding of time is different than the average person. Alright, so this is my third set. Definitely glad I chose to do overhead press instead of just doing jerks. So, third set, 2 more. That's good, Gary. We don't wish you were here either. Hey, Gerald. Tell you what, Gary. You can want lots of things. It's good to want things. I'm doing well, Gerald. How are you? I don't know if Gary has the intellect to enter the country in any capacity. They're not sending their best. They're sending Gary's with 2 R's. No, Gary is fine. Gary with 2 R's though. That's an R too far. It's 1 R too many. Not in this America. We spell Gary correctly here. So this is the fourth set. Left elbow's feeling a little weird, but nothing that's going to prevent me from doing this set. Probably just means I need to keep stretching out my shoulders. One more set. I'm very glad I didn't take any caffeine for the session. I really didn't need it. Wanted it. Man, Gary, not with that type, not that level of English. If I apply once in your country, I'll get much more paid than you all guys combined in medical fees. Gary, I don't want you to be my doctor with that kind of sentence. Uh, Thank you, Robert. Omer set here. But, yeah, we're mostly Giovanni just messing with Gary because he's a very angry. I don't even know. He won't say where he's from. He just says, I'm not from America. Uh, which makes sense because here we spell Gary with one R, like true patriots. just like just like the true founding fathers. It's George Washington. How many are in his name? One. Not two, but one. Thomas Jefferson. How many R's? Just one. If there's two, I don't care. There's one. I don't bench anymore. Two R's. Hey, Gary's the one putting two R's in his name. I just told you, Chargers fan, I don't bench anymore. I'm sorry that you're a Chargers fan too. That's almost as bad as being a Cleveland fan. At least I know the Browns will stink. Chargers have the delusion that they can win in their division. But I'm sure they'll make the playoffs next year to lose in the first round again. I actually didn't really know there's like actual Chargers fans too. It's like a random team. Alright, that's it. That's it. Nice little light day. Productive work, a little bit of front rack stretching, some practice in the lifts. I'll probably go and do the ab wheel, but I'm trying to get better at doing that more frequently. No while to get out of the beginner zone. Gary back with his unintelligible English. Where is Gary from, though? Gary won't tell us. It must be such a great country that he just doesn't want us to feel sad. I'm from that country. I'm from there. Man does Olympic weightlifting in his shed. Politics incoming. Hey, India's fine. Now, if they spell Gary with two R's, though, I might have to reconsider that position. If they're out there putting multiple R's in names that don't need it, that might just be, might be evidence that they're just kind of wasteful. You can figure it out. Wisconsin #1. I don't know about that. But yeah, we'll do the ab wheel a couple times. Gary, get our guys. Gary, the real question is though, why do people in India want to come to America to work if it's such a bad place? Why do all the scammers try to scam people from Western countries? Is it because they have more wealth? Oh, there's puppers outside. It's puppy time. Oh, now Gary's finally on it. Well, it's not teaching you how to spell it right. It's just telling you there's one R in Gary. You don't need two R's. You're working too hard. Gary's confused. Honestly, though, like, I don't know, like, many Garys in the real world. It's a very, like, there's obviously Gary the Snail and SpongeBob, but, like, actual people named Gary is pretty rare. You don't see too many of them around. I mean, they have to exist. Otherwise, Gary here probably would have a different Western name. But yeah, always like that because it's afraid of Canada. I like that idea of scammer type people. They're like, yeah, we scam people because they're too dumb. No, you scam people because you're immoral. Like it's literally stealing money, and it's like the worst possible thing you could do. One of the worst, like from a financial standpoint, because it's mostly the thing is if like I got scammed, I'm an idiot. I'm young enough. I know about what the scams are. I know what it's going, I know what goes into it. So it's not, if I am falling for some idiot scammer, then it's my fault. But what becomes more worrying is that there are older people that don't know about these scammers. Grandpa was someone that got like a Facebook scammer. So it's like, and it's not even just isolated to just India, like they're all over the world. But it's for older people that don't are unaware of that sort of thing. I think a lot of scammers will become a lot more relevant when people in my generation get older, just because there'll be enough generations of technology to where it's just we at least as far as me, like if I have a spam number, I just don't pick up. I get a spam voicemail, I don't listen to it. Um, so for me, like scams and stuff, like there's a spam box that I look at and laugh at the emails. Get spam calls, my phone picks it up. Like it's an efficient process. So like I just don't pick up. I mean, even my grad school got picked up as a spam call, which is hilarious. I knew it wasn't, but it's funny how even there, so it even catches things that aren't. But um, uh, Albania, yeah, like unless I know the person and I've gotten their number, then I don't pick it up. Or if I'm expecting a number, and a lot of times the caller ID will show you who it is. So like if I call the dentist, like I'm gonna get a caller ID from the dentist that's gonna be there. Um, do not redeem. Oh, there are three countries associated with our borders. Well, I should visit Turkey. No, I don't travel, but maybe one day. What's that? Is Afghanistan the one that's no? That's not next to. What country is right next to India on the left? They have the big cricket. They're big rivals. I forget. I don't remember enough about cricket. My friend knew. I have an Indian friend. He was telling me about cricket stuff, and India and another country next to him have a big rivalry when it comes to cricket. Pakistan, that's what it is. Um, yeah, I've heard that Pakistan is just a lot better at cricket than India, but yeah, it's my front facing camera, buddy, so everything's in reverse. So it's the correct way, it's just the camera's reversed. I'm not flipping around so it's backwards for my own vision. Everything's facing the right way for me. But yeah, I think Pakistan, I think they're a lot better at cricket. At least that's I don't follow cricket a lot, so maybe I'm just trying to maybe I'm just saying that to make Gary upset. But maybe he doesn't like cricket. It's not a good sport. It's probably one of the most confusing sports in the world. Good thing us Americans made baseball, where we can throw 100 freedom miles an hour. Hey, don't worry, buddy. Gary, I don't actually follow cricket. I'm trolling you, and I even told you like that sarcastically. You gotta start, picking up the pace. You gotta start, firing those neurons a little bit. I don't care about cricket whatsoever. It's fantastic. I don't know what the IMF is. Don't care what the IMF is. It's cricket, or it's not. I don't even know. uh, could be soccer. I don't know, but I like it. You gonna be saying anything, Gary? I feel like your heart is there. Like you are really trying to type sentences, but they really aren't. Like they just do not make logical sense. You have to like maybe Google Translate if you're trying to, if that or if like just you just have to. I don't even know, Gary. I don't care. That's the problem. It's. I'm sorry, Wasteland Warrior. That's I hate to hear that because they stink. They're about as they're the Browns are about as good as Indians cricket team. It's about the same level right now. Which maybe that's not true. I don't know. What? That's a give me. I'll give you a new one. Oh, Giovanni, how long you tell us, Giovanni? How long have you been an Eagles fan? Yeah, Eddie. He's very true. And now, see, Eddie there with two D's makes perfect sense. You need it. You have to have it because it's double syllable. You don't need it in Gary. You only need one R. But Giovanni, how long have you been? I don't know, Gary. They've been real good lately. Maybe it's just me coping, saying nobody can be a fan of a good team. You all have to like bad teams, otherwise you're a front runner. Maybe I'm just coping. Like you, do you dislike me? Why would I dislike you, Michael? Are you a fan of cricket? Then maybe I dislike you. Not really. Cricket's kind of like darts. I don't pay attention to it at all. Competitive darts, not on my bingo board of stuff to watch. But no, Gary's honestly, I do like Gary's spirit though. He's sticking in. He's not saying anything correct. His grammar leaves a lot to be desired, but his effort's there. He's really trying. He's trying to form sentences. He's trying to make a coherent thought. He keeps missing. He's kind of like Rocky, but like in the first 5 or 6 rounds where he's just getting beat to death, and he's really getting close. I'm just hope he gets to one of those later rounds where he can hit me with a haymaker and really make the full comeback. But I really don't. I thought if you were from like is South Jersey, is that like New Jersey? This is, I don't know if South Jersey, the difference of South Jersey and North Jersey. I just assume it's all New Jersey to me. Um, but why wouldn't you like one of the Giants or the Jets? Aren't they both from New Jersey? I thought they both played in the same stadium that's in New Jersey. Why don't you like one of the teams that stink right now? Why do you gotta like a good team? That's what I'm trying to get at. You have to like a bad team. You have to go be a Giants fan. You have to come. I got to pull you down into the dirt with us. I mean, like, literally, the Browns. We are literally the color of dirt because our team is in the dirt. Broncos. Well, yeah, the Broncos. They weren't supposed to be good this year, and that's they overperformed. So they have a lot of potential for next year as long as what's his face continues to go on. You can't be Broncos and the Chiefs. What is going on? Come on, Michael. You cannot be Broncos and the Chiefs. Hey, if you don't like cricket, this is the chat for you because I know nothing about cricket. I just know Pakistan and India have a very strong hatred of each other when it comes to sports and probably in general. Um, you can't, Michael. That's illegal. You can't do that. I'm sorry. You can't like both teams. It's like me liking the Browns and the Steelers. Like you can't pick two teams. You can pick one team in the AFC, one team in the NFC. That's the rules. I didn't make it. You have to do it. Singing off? Dude, Gary's leaving with a banger. He's not even signing off. He's singing off. What are you singing, Gary? Just, you can't. It's sorry. You can't do it, Michael. See, here's a question. What state are you from? If you, what state are you from, Michael? You can't like the Broncos and the Chiefs. No, Texas. All right. Well, you can't like the Chiefs then. So you're a Broncos fan. Congratulations, Michael. Although, how are you not a Dallas or a Texans fan? Do not redeem. But Michael, so if the Broncos and Chiefs are playing, who do you want to win that game? Because like I would say like I like other AFC teams, like I like the Bills, like I like Josh Allen and stuff. But if they're playing the Browns, I want the Browns to win. If any team's playing the Browns, I want the Browns to win. You don't like Jerry Jones? You don't like Jerry Jones? You went, Michael. I feel like you're not even a real NFL fan. That's a non NFL answer. That's something my sister would say. If she's a Chiefs fan because she likes Taylor Swift. I was like, who would you want to win, Browns or Chiefs? She's like, I don't really care. I don't like sports. You gotta commit, Michael. I'm sorry. I don't. It's just the law. It's actually one of Trump's executive orders. He signed about 150 of them. That was one of them. That you can't like two different NFL teams. You have to pick one. You can go to whatever game that you want. It's an NFL game, and if you live in Texas, like, it doesn't matter what game you go to. Gary, you already said that you had to go. Leave. You can't. Oh, Michael, I can't respect the non-commitment to liking two different teams. You gotta. I think I'm gonna anoint you to be a Cleveland Browns fan because you like two different teams. You are now officially a Cleveland Browns fan. Congrats, you're in the dirt. You're in the dirt with us. Can't be a Eagles fan. Green Day there is already an Eagles fan. He's flying around, but no, a different one. Listen, Green Day, if you're gonna spell Gary's name, at least put the two R's in. Quit putting all. You can't put 10 R's, and now it just looks funny. Oh, I mean, America is pretty great. So I did win the lottery as far as that goes. America is larger than about every country in the world, at least as far as the ability to drive around. It's like driving through Europe. That's probably one of my favorite things to that I've seen is when you see the size of America transposed over Europe to just realize how ginormous America, this just the landmass of America is. Gary, you're not that interesting to talk behind your back. We're just talking about how your name has two R's instead of one. But I think you've clearly established that you're not really good at spelling or grammar. So I honestly think that you just misspelled your username and you're just trying to commit to it. But Gary won't go. Gary's in love. Gary's in love with me. I appreciate it. That's that's what's funny is like even like a state like Ohio is like just ginormous. It and you can even look at like the GDP of individual states, and you don't even have to pick a big state like Texas or Florida or California. Just one of the middle states. Ohio's a good example, but even one like Illinois, like just comparing that to European states would just or European countries is comical, and that's why America has so much just world power, just economically. We are isolated in the sense from the oceans, but um, we have just so much. I think Gary might be Joseph. I don't know who you're talking about. Gary has two R's. The Gary that you're talking about. We haven't seen a Gary in the chat because real Garys don't exist. Yeah, David, that is very true. It's also crazy because of how like terrible it is to live in that country or state, I should say, because of how expensive everything. A house like mine is I think like 160 right now if I were to sell. At least let's just say that that is correct. It's probably between 150 and 170. But in California, it would be like $500,000 plus, maybe more, for this literal same house in a similar area. It is actually bonkers, and it's like the food and stuff. And there's not really a good reason for it to be that expensive. Like if you compare it to somewhere like Hawaii that's very isolated, it's very expensive to live there as well, but it's because it's, an isolated island, so, getting stuff to Hawaii is very expensive. Same I would say I don't know if Alaska is that same way, but I know Hawaii is very expensive because I have a friend that lives there and just buying, groceries is very expensive in general. And it's everywhere. It's expensive, but even there, if it's something's $5 here, it's gonna be eight or $7 or $8 there. Living in Cleveland. Hey, nobody wants to live in Cleveland, that's for sure. Especially East Cleveland. We're all home, Michael. Unfortunately for the Native Americans, they didn't have a unified front to fight back all the colonists. So we just kind of just won. But I think in the long term, it actually worked out for the best because America's such a large and mostly together country. People always like to say we're divided, but like um, planet Earth, I'm home. Oh, Mick, that's pretty funny. You're right. That's where we got lucky. What's interesting is my brother has a little bit of Native American in him, which is very unique for our family. Based on my skin tone, you can guess where my parents did ancestry tests where they where most of their ancestry is from. Uh, so I had never really bothered doing one of those ancestry tests. Like I basically know where I'm from. There's probably not going to be any surprise DNA that's in me, just because of the. Nah, this is too wholesome, Paul. We're gonna send uh, we're gonna send Mick to Mars. Fear will be your name. What? Well, yeah, government, I don't even say is great. It's not, clearly, but it's very powerful. And that's the thing that's hard to contextualize. And the combination of all the whitest people of Europe, probably. My parents have had ancestry tests, and it was, um, well, they for the one that they got, it didn't give specific countries, but there were some Irish, and it was mostly like Germanic areas. Make we're sending you to Mars. Well, I mean, Michael, I assume if it's a Native American tribe, they're all kind of the original ones. There's not like unoriginal. There's not Native Americans from different countries that could. Like, but definitionally, a Native American. Um, well, I only have a little bit of Irish. I think I'm mostly Germanic, so I don't know. And it's weird with those ancestry tests because it's like Germanic for that like whole region, so not just Germany. You'll go, Mick. I like it. We'll send you there. Elon Musk will send you there for you. You can be the first settler. We'll send Gary there next with you. I that's actually I don't I'm pretty sure that's objectively not true, Giovanni. I think it's um I'm talking about like in America, like like if you're a Native American, you are by definitionally like an original person from America. Going in fact way beyond that is that's that's not really um I mean that's like saying I'm from Europe, but like the contents were connected, it was different. A little too far back, but that's what I'm referring to when I say Native Americans. That's what I'm referring to as well. But I do like how Gary with two R's came back. This how you work out? Like seriously, Gary? That's what I do when I'm done. I don't continue to lift weights when I'm done. Luke? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Is what Joseph said. Is like at a certain point we're all from Africa. What I'm talking about is like Native American tribes, as far as like when the colonists came, and then started seeing them. Um, my power went out. That's not good. All right, well, I think I'm done lifting. Um, all right, we'll see if the power went out in my house. I guess you guys are coming with me. Was that Gary? Did Gary do that? I think Gary turned off the power in my house. Gary out here. Dude, Mike, we have more important things to figure out. How did Gary turn off the power in my house? Oh yeah, the power's out in the neighborhood. That's a that's a problem. I think Gary redeemed my electricity bill. Turn off the. This way, I'll leave this. Oh wow, and my power's actually out, which is not good because my phone doesn't charge well when I'm streaming. Gary, come on, buddy, stop playing around. Turn the power back on. See, it's funny too. Let me flip this around. You see all my junk, but those lights are um, built by, or they're solar powered, so they still exist. Oh wow, yeah, I have no power. Get this flashlight back on. There we go. What happened? What did you do, Gary? Well, fortunately for you guys, I don't have anything to do now because power's out. Um, so I'm here till my phone dies. So we can hang out in the dark. I'll put some candles on for the ambiance. And I find gotta find a lighter. You see my blonde hair now. I can't believe Gary turned off my power though. It's honestly pretty toxic. We're having some nice banter and he just attacks the infrastructure. It's actually pretty obnoxious because wasn't planning on just not doing anything. Oh, I might not be able to get it on. Gary, don't play innocent. Now he messed up my lighter too. Oh, there we go. I personally think we need to tariff India after this. I can't believe Gary would attack our infrastructure. Well, the good news with the power going out is it wasn't while I was lifting, which when my roommates lived there would be a terrifying thing that would happen. It happened only a couple times, but and the light goes, as you guys see, it gets very dark in there because there's no outside light. So let's see. My phone actually died. I could just drive my car for a bit. All right. We have light now. Yeah, so internet is probably off as well. You guys see me? Oh, yeah, the light. Look at that. Look how beautiful. And I got that over my window just because it's an old thing. Oh, Pear. I'm in here. My power went out. So I got nothing to do. I can't even, like, cook. Because now my fridge is off. I don't want to open my fridge because it lets the cold out. I'm really stuck. Oh, just depends. Well, Eddie, if you look at most of my normal videos, you'll really see Gary. Then you are right. We don't normally run. Well, we don't. It's not running out of power. The power got out, so usually something happens and the power gets knocked off. I think the last time it happened, or actually one time at my previous school when it happened, someone crashed their car into a power pole, and that messed up the power for a couple hours. But you usually get it on pretty quick. Yeah, it should turn. I mean, imagine it turns on pretty quick. Sometimes I get a text from our power company that will say, it's this happened or whatever. I honestly think the last time was from a storm. I think something got blown down. But actually had been someone crashed into a pole in front of my house once. I don't know if that affected the power. I think it just lowered the power lines to like really close to like close enough where your head would hit it when you walked by. But um, Gary, don't try to push the blame on the aliens. We all know that you did it. I do like how Gary stuck by my side though, like a true gent. It's just a pixel. Man, I can't believe this. All right, let me check something. All right, I'm back. Giovanni, when you put swear words in your chat, then it doesn't or it picks it up. It like gets flagged. And just like when Per says something inappropriate as well, it gets picked up. But I do appreciate you guys sticking around and hanging out even though I'm done lifting. You got nothing to do now. Nothing but time. Hang out and shoot the breeze. It's just kind of a weird question. No, I never do those. I don't. Is America struggling? Oh, let's see what Duke said. It says estimate for 11:45. So a power outage has been identified in the area. Um, so that's estimated to be 4 hours or 3.5 hours. This is probably the first power outage. I would say it probably happens maybe like once a year at the most, but generally it's not something that happens too frequently. It's not something you like have to plan or think about really. Yeah, I mean that usually it's not that long. But I don't know if we had one last year. Well, Gary's talking about my power going out, so we're not we're not getting existential out here. I also like that, Paul, that you say like never left America. Like, do you realize how large America is? People talk about like, oh, you need to travel and go to Europe and stuff. It's like I'm not even gonna travel to all the states in America by the time I die. It is so large. Gerald, Gary cannot even spell his name correctly, so just let him just be misspelled. You don't have to get mad at Gary. Gary's jealous. The problem is that when you spell Gary with your phone, it's probably autocorrecting it with one R. So you have to really put in that extra effort to get it to have two. Yeah, and like driving, so I had drove from Florida to Ohio before, and that took 24 hours straight of driving. Um, and that's not even the largest distance you can drive in America. I'm blow my nose. I don't know the technical largest distance that you can drive in America, but I would imagine it's somewhere. I would say like probably like Maine to a southern part of California would probably be the like the maximum distance, and that would take multiple days of just like constantly driving. Um, I think Gary's the only one that's still here crying about stuff. I do like how everyone's just like against Gary. Can someone because I can't really look that up when I'm live. Can you guys Google that and see what the longest distance, like in miles, is from one part of the country, like the longest possible distance you could drive in America? I guess probably, and probably in like the 48 states, because like you could count Alaska, but you have to drive through Canada to get there, I think. Spectrum said the same thing, so I don't have internet either. Not even. I get 20% more battery, boys. We're dying slowly but surely. 3003. Jeez. Newport in California? Or Newport to where? What state is Newport in? Boston, Massachusetts, I know that. Oh man. I was gonna say, like, you have to go down a little bit to get around if you're not gonna go like I don't even think you can really go through Canada. I don't think there's I don't know if there's anything there. Like Asmongold. I look like a ghost. Is Asmongold? No. Is he the one that's like the has a really dirty room? I don't really watch streamers, but is that the when you said the 3,000? Eddie said 3,365. I assume that's Boston and Newport somewhere, somewhere far away. Cape Flattery, Washington to Key West, Florida. Oh, that makes sense too, because you're going all the way to the bottom of Florida. I kind of had the opposite thought of starting at Maine and moving down, but that makes sense as well. So 3,600. Yeah, Adam, if he's like a streamer, is he the one with the really dirty room? 50 hours to drive from Maine to California. That's so. I mean, that's 50 hours without stopping. Like that's like if you just went. Um, that to me is just wild. Because like you think about that distance driving through Europe, how far you could get just driving. Obviously, you have to go through, various countries and checkpoints. But if you're just calculating the miles, like the amount of countries you can go through is wild. And obviously, 3,600 that takes you through a lot of states. But yeah, 50 hours of driving. That's a lot. So I've done 20. I think it ended up being like 22. Maybe not. Oh, I think I might be exaggerating that. So it might be like 18. I left at like 7 a.m. and I got home after midnight. So it was like an entire day. And I drove the entire time. Um, and I did have people say that I was going to stop. And I did not stop. See, incognito, like, my microwave can't be listening to me right now because I literally don't have power in the house. My phone's gonna die. I don't have any power. So how my phone would listen to me, I don't actually know. I'd be pretty impressed if that my phone was able to do that. What kind of stinks though is the only way I can charge my phone is in my car. I don't want to just sit on my car battery just to charge my phone. My microwave wants me to. They want you to think that the power's out. They're doing a pretty good job of it. They got me messed up. It's without the need of ferries or trains. It's Portugal to Tallinn in eastern Russia. That's that's a trek. And I kind of feel like for me, if I were to travel, it would almost be a fun way to like that would be a fun challenge to do. To just spend all that time traveling through all those countries. But obviously, there's probably like if you're going to Tallinn, Russia, I don't know. Obviously, Russia, there's good and bad parts of it, but I don't know what if that's like a just like a farm town or something. It's practically Hanukkah. Yeah, Eddie out here with hitting the Google facts for us. I appreciate it. Unless Eddie actually knows. Maybe Eddie actually knows this. He's like that guy that knows all the locations of the world. He just knows. He just has the numbers just like that. Thank you, Marcos. I'm here just waiting for my phone to die. 17%, boys. So we got left. Unless you guys have a creative way for me to charge my phone. So I don't have a laptop. Um, that's, that's a wild statement. So again, NATO is true. I do have some potatoes. I'm a full check. Eddie, how do I charge my phone with the power out? That is, I'm in a bunker. Yeah, I'm in a bunker. Usually people ask that when I'm out in the shed training. I don't know any which way to. A cordless drill. I do, but I don't have like a cord to get to it. I should say I don't have a cord that would connect to my phone. I'm not necessarily training for an event or to stay in shape. I'm training to get better at the snatch and the clean and jerk. So that's kind of an event in a sense, but I just do Olympic weightlifting, so that's what I'm trying to train for, trying to get better at the snatch and clean and jerk. But there's not like a specific like competition or event that I'm training for. I wish I had a stationary bike and like something like that could generate electricity, and I could just sit there and charge my phone and ride the bike. But I this kind of sucks, man. I kind of wanted to eat dinner. I want to open my fridge though. I might have to call the Papa John's. I'm gonna have to call Papa John's and ask him if they got power over there, and say I'm coming over, boys. I don't have a choice. Me and the Papa gotta eat. Hey, Bartholomew, can you get me a pizza then if you're at my door? That'd be dope, because I want to eat. But I can't really open my fridge. Oh, God. That's Eddie, that sounds way too desperate, especially because I can just drive my car around for a bit. All right, well, just knock on the door then, and I'll open it for you. That sounds terrible. Inner cord connected to the terminal. That, I mean, I'm sure there is a way to configure that, but it'd be pretty cool if the door actually knocked. I mean, I would love for Bartholomew to bring me some pizza. No, I'd probably get. Actually, I don't know. I usually just get like the Italian sausage, but it might be a pepperoni type time. Definitely not salami though. That's psychopath behavior. Aiden, you can't put the YouTube doesn't like the curse words, so you just get auto flagged. Well, oh, police lights. Shamal Miller. Huh. Hey, have a good night, Joseph. I guess. Shall look. I appreciate you stopping by, Eddie, too. Yeah, it looks like they're doing some power work up the street, so it's actually whatever the thing happened, it's probably pretty close. But Shamel, what made you say Cincinnati, Ohio? It's kind of a random part of the state. especially with my Cleveland hat. Usually people guess I live up there. Hey, Ree, my power's out. What'd you do? Well, we know Gary did it. Oh, you're in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah, thankfully, Reed, I was just shooting the breeze out in the shed, but the power went out, and so now I don't have anything to do till my phone dies. So I might see. You could feel bad, but I might have to get a pizza because I can't really open my fridge. You know what am I gonna do? Might have to eat some pizza. Tragedy. Arkansas is a good guess. That's where my grad school is, but no. Yeah, I am Edward Snowden, but yeah, they said it's gonna come on like 11:45, which is like 2 hours from now, but hopefully it comes on a little before that. But um, that's what I'm saying. But the problem is the pizza place is close. So I don't know if they got power knocked out too. So I might have to go somewhere further. Um, I might have to actually call Papa John's. But and that's the problem too is I could put an online order, but if they don't have power, they're not gonna see it. So trying to think where else Chinese food does sound really good. But that's the catch 22 is I live close to a lot of restaurants and a lot of places to get food, but the power's out where I'm at. So I don't know I don't know how far the power outage is gone. So I might just have to I can't cuz gas stove you need electricity for that to turn on. Walmart would have power so I could in theory go out that far to a grocery store. Yeah, I wonder if they have generators there. Oh, yeah. Pizza sounds really good though. But we'd have to call up to Papa. I don't have any desire to do Turkish get-ups. It was so the actual day was good. So they were doing an assembly, or they're using the gym for like an event in for the assembly, and so I had to be outside all day, which was unpleasant in the early morning, but then ended up being okay. It was definitely chilly today, but ended up not being too bad. It's just a regular light. Tomorrow's supposed to be pretty warm, so I have to be outside again. There's actually a lot of days in the next couple weeks where I can't use the gym. They're doing like assemblies and stuff. It's that time of year where they have a lot of that. So it's today it was not very fun, um, but you know it is what it is. And it's a weird thing because like when the weather's not nice, scoot back a little bit. It's kind of annoying, but it's also not difficult is they just go out and play. You know, just go hang out on the playground. So it's pretty simple as far as that goes. But they do that again tomorrow when it's nice, and then normal days the rest of the week. Although Thursday, I do have to go get my teeth, get my cavities filled. So outside has see Eddie. Yeah, I mean, like being outside is pretty simple because it's like they just play and yeah, I don't really like when it's an outside time. I don't really worry about instruct. It's a weird thing because the first three classes I have we're the only class that's out on the playground, and so the um, after that, there's other classes that come out to recess. So even if I were to like want to teach a lesson, it wouldn't really work because there's three other classes plus my classes out there. So it would just be just chaotic with that. So it's much easier just to let them play with the other kids um, in that regard. But people, knuckleheads that live across the street are always honking, no matter what the time is. But how was your day? Do you have a lifting session today? For me, it was just light work. See you, Giovanni. Let me see my battery situation. We're at 11%. You know what does sound good is some Taco Bell. And Taco Bell apparently is getting a little healthier too. They're lowering the sodium and making the I don't know. I'll probably just end up eating something here. I will have to briefly open my fridge. One of those days. That's my Thursday might turn into a day like that because I am going to the dentist. So I'm doing a half day of work and then going to the dentist for the other half. Um, and phosphate feds. Okay. And then I might be on another interview panel like I did the previous week. I'm not sure if I actually want to because it's a little um, till 11:30. That's crazy. So when you have a day like that, do you eat at the or like do you teach at a hospital, like in a hospital, or um, do you go to like a different location to teach? And then the follow up would be, do you eat like the hospital food? Because I don't know much about. I don't really have an opinion about hospital food. I don't know if I've actually eaten anything at a hospital before, other than a ginger ale, which I don't think it was hospital brand ginger ale. It's bad, Aiden. 10%. we're we're at 10. We'll see if the power comes on. We got 10%. That sounds good. Stir fry does sound. Chinese food sounds really good. Some General Tso chicken. That stuff sounds really good. Which I want to go get some, but I'm trying to. The problem is too is I want to bulk, and I allow myself to have. If there's some sort of event or whatever, I'm not gonna like withhold food or anything like that. Like my buddy went out for his birthday, and I ate food. Obviously, not necessarily my plan. Not necessarily healthy food, but not necessarily terrible. Um, but I'm trying to bulk in a way that's not eating crap all the time. Like how Aiden is suggesting, just getting a milkshake. I'm trying to do it with healthy foods, which is much more difficult to get enough calories for sure. But I still have some sugar. Like I have some Sour Patch Kids. Um, ultimately prior to the evening shift. Oh, I do not envy that schedule. I know my mom had a similar one when she worked in the hospital when I was a kid. She'd work seven to seven. Yeah, and it definitely is, Tony. I 100% agree with that. The only issue, not necessarily that I have an issue with the vertical diet, but like the issue that I'm having is just the sheer volume of food is really difficult. And because I'm actually eating cleaner now, I keep losing weight. I was 230 um, 2 days in a row, and I haven't weighed 230 in a very long time. So I'm literally the worst. So I decided to bulk, immediately get the flu. I don't lose any weight when I get the flu. Um, Extra virgin olive oil. That would be really good right now, Tony, because I have the rice, I have the virgin oil. I don't have any power to cook with right now. Um, That's good. Yeah, I honestly don't know how my mom, when she was 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., ever did anything like ever. I don't know how you do that. Um, and just like, I guess Tony, I could just drink some olive oil right now. I do have. That's true. It's true. The dirty bulk. Just drink oil. I am filling my engine with oil, with olive oil. Italian drink. Now I did get one uh, beverage that is of the adult variety. Um, yeah, that is pretty nice. For me, definitely cutting is easier because I have that. I feel exactly that. Like I don't like feeling or just essentially bloated, and that's kind of was this morning. I just had a bunch of Rice Krispie cereal and some Greek yogurt, and I was just like, just felt like a brick. I wasn't like ill or anything. I was just like, this is just not fun. But yeah, just maintaining for me is usually the easiest because then I can just eat enough. You know, you just see if you gain weight or not. Um, hold on. I need to- Oh, yeah, but I would like to get to 240 because I feel like, I mean, especially weirdly, I had been sitting in the upper 230s for a while, and I just kind of randomly started losing weight a little bit. And then when I was like 232, I didn't necessarily feel bad or anything, but I was like, all right, if I want to be able to jerk 405 pounds, like I gotta put on some pounds and immediately get the flu. So that slowed down that process. But um, I think for me, the hardest thing that I have to get better at is not necessarily eating when I'm at school, but making because I just have like a sandwich, but I just have to put more stuff on that sandwich, so more pieces of cheese and stuff like that. Because that's just like I'm gonna eat that sandwich because I'm hungry at work or whatever. And lean bulk to yeah. Yeah, right now, well, this morning I was 230, so I'm trying to get to 240. Um, I had been for a while, it was 237, 238, and then just slowly fell apart. Yeah, and that is the tricky part is if you have a massive lunch, is literally that. Sometimes that will happen to me on the weekends. I'll eat, a lot and then go and train. And it's just like you're just farting the whole time. It's just not, it's not ideal. But I don't know, that's headlights. Still no power. Yeah, cutting is definitely a lot easier to do. I think to a certain point, because like I feel like if I was like 100% committing to cutting, I could probably get to like 225, maybe even less. But like there'd be a certain point where I'd start to get resistance. Um, yeah, generally don't. If I do, it's because I'm lazy. Um, for in the afternoons, it's a little weird in the daylight timing because it always looks dark when I'm training, but usually that's because it's like 6 o'clock. In the summer, it won't be as dark all the time, but yeah, I will go in there late sometimes. I don't really, the weekends, I don't really have a rule for myself when I'm gonna go train. I just train when I want to. Um, I just will probably never train early in the morning unless I really had to. Hey DJ, but yeah, it stinks. I need to fix my power. I thought I heard the heat kick on, but I would hear a bunch of beeps if the power turned on. Oh, now, honestly, the best time to work out is like 3:30. Can't do that because I'm working, but that would be like the ideal time. That's like in the summer. I'll start to like get warmed up at 3:30 and train at like 4. I don't know, DJ. I don't train for that kind of thing. Just bulk to 98 read. Become a chungus. Summers off is fantastic for many reasons, as anyone can imagine. You might be right, DJ. I don't know. I don't care about the pump. I definitely agree with the power though. Um, I feel like my neurological system is just up. The Chungus Tallahassee. I mean, that should be the goal. You want to get to the size that if you trip, you just start to roll. That's kind of my body comp that I'm trying to get. What happened to Heels Over Toe? I stopped following some of those meme pages a while ago, or a lot of them just like become inactive. But the Heels Over Toe guy didn't. I remember unfollowing him, and I forget why. What's it? A fire truck. Interesting. If you could read and you figure that out, I mean, you just start drinking olive oil, you'll get there. You'll live terribly, but you could I don't know if physically you could like you I guess technically you could like as far as just like fluid, but like not actual weight. Oh, you'd feel so terrible though if you gained 9 kilos. Or probably a little bit less if you said you're trying to make sure you're at 89, but like even if you gained 8 kilos, like that's just brutal. Uh, yeah, there was that whole like circle of meme pages, and they all just stopped posting and stopped existing. I just work out fast. That's cardio. So cluster sets. That will elevate my heart rate, make my heart go boom boom, hit that boom boom pow. Nah, you should go to 88 and gain muscle. I think the best piece, I don't even know if it's advice, but the one thing that I always noticed when I was watching like the max tunings and all those kind of like power lifters, as I was getting to lifting, was that Omar Esop did this a lot. They would bulk, they would cut, they would bulk, and they would cut, and just be never just in moving in one direction. So honestly, like the best advice I think for anyone is just to not necessarily care about what weight class you're in. I mean, if you're, you know, 89 kilos and the weight class is 88 and you have to lose a kilo, like that's not a big deal. But if you're like in between, you're just trying, you should always just be perpetually trying to get stronger while trying to, stay relatively lean. You don't want to become a fat bastard and you don't want to never get stronger. So you eventually have to gain weight in some sense because you're going to be gaining muscle, hopefully, at least a little bit. And it becomes a balancing act because you don't want to gain weight and just become fat. You will gain muscle, but you don't want to. Nobody wants to be fat and sloppy, and so you're just trying to do it in a slow fashion, but also patient fashion. It's not as fun if you're, an Omar Esaf or an influencer. You can say I'm not. You're not doing summer cuts or bulks or anything like that. You're just kind of perma bulking in a sense, but mostly just trying to always get stronger and always being in a little bit of a surplus and just trying to always build muscle mass. But yeah, and the thing is, unless you're worried about qualifying for something, the weight class that you are in doesn't really matter. Because even though I was been a 109 the last couple of times I competed, I wasn't anywhere. I don't think I ever actually made it to 109. Um, I think the most I weighed was 239 or 238, maybe. um, before one of the meets. I was 109, so it's not really important unless you need to qualify for something. And honestly, the qualifying totals aren't that different between two category levels. So just get stronger. That's always the best advice. But yeah, 100 kilograms at 5'8". That would be you have to put a lot of muscle to make it look good. I think it's I think it's possible. It's probably not very easy or it wouldn't be very feasible, but I wouldn't necessarily uh, limit yourself to be like I want to, only be in this weight class. I would just like try to get stronger and try to, continue to gain muscle, and you might get to 93 or whatever. Like it might you might be a 98 technically because you're, overweight for whatever weight class, but I think for general enjoyment of lifting, oh no, I'm at 3%. Unfortunate. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out while it's cold. I mean, while the power's out. It's not cold yet. Still got candles, but I'm gonna go hunt in the kitchen for some food, and I might have to drive around my car a little bit to charge my phone. But yeah, maybe because there is a speed component you have to consider as well. So I guess that is a balancing act. If you're a power lifter, 100% just can't wait forever. But I'm out of here, boys. Hopefully the power comes on soon. But take care. Have a good night, guys.